Hey everybody, I hope Tuesday is going to go great for you, or if you're watching this in the afternoon, I hope it has gone well for you. Let's jump right into our verse for today. It says this, Proverbs 3:32, "For the Lord detests the perverse, but takes the upright into his confidence." Now, that can right off the gate be somewhat of an intimidating verse, but track with me a little bit. So we set up on Monday that we can know we have been created to be in a relationship with God because of the very design, because of how we've actually been designed. We've been designed to be his image bearers, which means we can connect with him on a personal basis. We've been designed for relationships, and we've been designed to connect with him on a personal way. But how do we actually do this? This begs the question. Well, that's easier said than done. How do we actually connect with God personally? How can I actually experience true intimacy with God? True intimacy with God is something that has been sought by Christians since Christ walked the earth. And really, it's actually something that we as Christians believe everybody's searching for. There's this void that needs to be filled in people's lives, and it can really only be filled by connecting with God personally. And it is definitely true that it is natural for Christians to search for this, to long for this experience of closeness with God. But a lot of us might say, again, easier said than done. How does this actually happen, to have true intimacy with God? See, true intimacy with God is more than just a feeling. It's more than just an emotional experience. It goes beyond emotions. It's more than just falling in love, like sometimes we think of intimacy. It's deeper than that. It goes much deeper. It goes down to our very souls, and it's reflected by our actions. It's reflected by what comes out of us, what comes out of our heart. That's where this verse comes into play. "For the Lord detests the perverse, but takes the upright into his confidence." God cannot have intimacy with evil, or really true, deep intimacy with disobedient Christians. True intimacy with God begins with drawing near to him. Now, let's be clear. We're not talking about salvation. Salvation happens because of what he's done for you, nothing you do for yourself. You can't do anything to get away from it. You commit your life to him. He saves you. But what we are talking about is whether or not you have a healthy relationship with God or not. Because you can be saved, you can be with God, but you can have a healthy relationship or an unhealthy relationship with him. And this is what it means to have intimacy with him. God will not draw near to those who do not draw near to him. And the way we draw near is through righteousness. Draw near to God, and he will draw near to you. Cleanse your hands, you sinners, and purify your hearts, you double-minded, it says in James 4:8. Certainly, God will never draw near in intimacy with unrighteousness. But those who have been cleansed by the blood of Christ, we've received his righteousness. He did it on our behalf. And because Christ covers us, we now can approach God because God sees the righteousness of Christ. So it's not what we have done to initially approach him, but how do we cultivate that healthy relationship, intimate relationship with him? It's by putting on that righteousness. We have the hope of intimacy with God because we actually get to walk with him and have him cleanse us. In fact, it is only those who have been saved by grace through faith, it says this in Ephesians 2:8-9, if you want to look it up, who have the hope, because Christ is the hope through which we draw near to God. True intimacy with God starts with confession. Starts with confession. Those who actually are true about their wicked ways confess it. God's going to draw near to. That's when he will take you into his confidence, as it says in our scripture today. So I encourage you guys, as you're confessing this week, make it a point to be open and honest with him. Be open about your struggles, about your wrongdoings, about your wickedness. Be open to him so that he will draw near to you. Draw near to him through confession, so he will draw near to you. And again, remember, this week, pray a prayer of confession every day. Spend time in silence with God every day, and replace something with something that will help you worship. Thanks for being with us.